Welcome to the Empowered Mind podcast with Joelle and Natalie Rivera. We are on a never-ending quest to master the power of our mind, develop a growth mindset, and explore the leading edge of positive psychology and human potential so we can take radical personal responsibility for creating our destinies and reaching our potential. So, if you died today, what dreams would die with you? The reason we want to talk about this topic is because when we first heard this idea, it came from Les Brown, who's an amazing speaker. If you've never seen or heard him, definitely go on YouTube and check him out. And so he said this in one of his famous speeches, and it just really struck a chord with us. So I'm actually going to read you what he said, and then we're going to talk about it for a minute. So he says, imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed, and standing around your bed are the ghosts of the ideas, the dreams, the abilities, the talents given to you by life. And that for whatever reason, you never acted on those ideas. You never pursued that dream. You never used those talents. We never saw your leadership. You never used your voice. You never wrote that book. And there they are, standing around your bed, looking at you with large, angry eyes, saying, "We came to you, and only you could have given us life. Now we must die with you forever." So the question is, if you die today, what ideas, what dreams, what abilities, what talents, what gifts would die with you?
And for us, it was pretty profound at the time, because at the time when we listened to it, I was actually sick. So I was bedridden at the time. And I was really contemplating my own mortality. I didn't think I got to the point where I kind of accepted that I might not make it out of this. And it really made me reflect and made us reflect on how we were spending our time, how we were spending our lives, what we wanted, what we didn't. Some of our dreams that we had that we always had excuses for. All of us at some level, out of fear or out of uncertainty or out of whatever reason we give ourselves, sometimes do not pursue our dreams, our desires. We procrastinate them. We create obstacles just because we don't want to take that next step, because we don't know what that step is going to bring. But at the same time, we're really stopping our own purpose and meaning in life.
And what I love about the way that he said it is that he looked at it like these talents that you have, these gifts that you can give the world, these ideas that come to you, they're gifts. They're given to you. They're inspired by life. They're given to you for a reason, and that only you can be the one that brings your great idea into fruition, or creates your masterpiece, or shares your truth and your story. No one else can do it for you. And so if you don't do it, all of these things that are given to you are going to die with you, whether you died today or you died, 100 years from now after a long life, which is of course what we wish for you. But the problem is a lot of people, they'll make it that 100 years and never do the things that truly they were put on this planet to do.
And realistically, it's not even about you. You have a purpose, you have a meaning. Maybe you want to make a difference in people's lives. And some of those people are waiting for you to step up to the plate, to live your purpose, your dreams, your desires, so they can transform their lives. Whether it's because you're actively actually transforming someone's life, or because a family or friend sees you transforming their lives, and then it gives them permission to actually do the same thing. So you got to remember, it's bigger than you. And that's really one of the things that I started reflecting on, is like, what is my legacy? What am I leaving behind? What are some of the dreams that I could never do? And then sometimes we say, well, tomorrow I'll get to them. But your health is not guaranteed. Your stability is not guaranteed. So many things are not guaranteed in life that you should take advantage today. If you can move today, and if you can't run, what they say, you walk. And if you can't walk, then you crawl. You do whatever you can to take that next step right now. Starting today, making that commitment that you're going to move forward to actually going towards your dream. Remember, your dream doesn't happen from one day to another. It kind of builds on itself. So it's those small steps that you take that will eventually create the results that you want.
And so the question is, thinking about that last day, whenever that day comes, if you were to look back at your life, what would you regret not doing? Because whatever that is, take a step today, even if it's just making a phone call or doing some research or writing in your journal about what your dreams are. Take a step today that tells yourself that you're going to make sure that whenever that day comes for you, this thing is not on that list of the things that you regret not doing. And, there's a phrase that is common that people say, you tend to regret what you didn't do more than you regret what you did do. So rather than holding yourself back because you're afraid of making a mistake or that something's not going to turn out the way that you want to, do it anyway. Because if you don't do it, then you could end up with this, parade of faces around you, or the ghosts of all the things that you never brought into this world standing around your bed on your last day, which is the last thing any of us want.
Well, and really failure is just an opportunity to learn. So just embrace it. Also ask yourself, what gifts will I never give to the world? Maybe you have a book inside you that needs to be written. Maybe you have a speech that needs to be written. Maybe there's a song within you, or maybe it's another talent or gift that the world really needs from you that can advance someone's life, or that can make a difference in someone's life, or that can make you feel alive, which then in turn makes other people feel alive. So what gift is that?
And then also ask yourself, what can you express in this world? Is there a truth that you know deep in your heart that other people want to hear? Do you have love in your heart that you haven't expressed to the people that you care for? Do you have something that you've been holding on to, some sort of resentment that you need to let go and forgive? And do that while you're still alive and kicking and have the ability to do so. Do you have things that you absolutely love to do and talents that you just get lost in the flow of it, but you never give yourself a chance to do those things? Because a lot of times what happens is people say, I'll get to this later in life. I'll go for my dreams one day. But the problem is that one day keeps getting put off into the future and into the future. And then again, you end up in the end on that deathbed with all of the things still left for the future that's not going to come. So our challenge to you is to really think about this morbid idea, but in a way that's empowering, and really reflect on what it is that you want to do with your life, because you don't want to be laying there and thinking about all the things that you didn't do. You want to be thinking about all the amazing experiences you had and the risks that you took and the failures that got you there, and a life fully lived.
And really, it's about your experiences missed. If you find yourself in this state, you're not going to say, I wish I would have watched more Netflix, or I wish I would have watched that season 4 or whatever it may have been. It comes down to saying, I wish that I would have taken that next step. I wish that I would have had the courage to get on that plane and have that experience that I always wanted to go to. I wish that I would have put myself out there more. I wish that I would have shared some of my gifts and talents with the world. So really take the time and assess what that is that will make you start living today, that will make you start going towards your dreams. And that one day when you're reflecting back on whether you're bedridden or whether with age or whatever it is, what happened to me, for example, that I could lay back down in that experience and say, something, I did what I came here to do. I live my life. I live my dreams. So again, we challenge you to reflect on that and really start taking the steps to help you move forward.
Thank you, fellow Freedom Junkies, for listening. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. And if you want to help us grow, please rate and share this podcast. You can also become a member of Freedom Nation. Visit freedomorbustpodcast.com and sign up to receive access to exclusive content and take the 21-day happiness challenge. As you know, we believe that entrepreneurship is the ultimate form of empowerment, which is why we created the Side Hustle Business Startup course for anyone looking to create their own income and take back their power. We offer an exclusive discount for our podcast listeners. Find out more at freedomorbustpodcast.com.